Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Ross Greer is an MSP for the Green Party. He is also a rather prissy little mummy's boy, the soyest of the soy. Somebody who was very much bullied at school, extremely bullied I would imagine, at school. He's charmless, friendless, he's probably a level 3 vegan who doesn't eat anything that casts a shadow. He's also highly obnoxious. And he opened his mouth and he made a comment today that is utterly offensive, that should immediately have him castigated and even thrown out of his own party. He makes light of things that should never be made light of. And he is just someone who should never ever be given any kind of authority or power. He somehow found himself being an MSP and decided that after all those years of bullying at school, he's going to throw his weight around, his totally inconsiderable weight. He's not intellectually strong, he's not physically strong, he's just a waste of human skin. He made the comment today that Russian war airstrikes were extremely funny. War is not funny, Mr. Greer. War is tragic, sad and destructive. And the very fact that you made a comment like this shows exactly the sort of person you are. You are a charmless little prick. In fact, if I was to describe you in the words I want to describe you, I would be banned off YouTube so fast my feet wouldn't touch. So I think bellend, perhaps. That's a fine word to describe you, isn't it? And to make those comments on today, which is Armed Forces Day, just shows a complete lack of any kind of humanity in you. You are just charmless, soulless and disgusting. We're going to take a look at what he said and the criticism he's received. But he is just someone who should from now on be completely ignored. And the sooner he's voted out, the better for everyone. And he can go back to his mummy's house, to his little bedroom upstairs, where he can spend the day reading comics and furiously masturbating, because that's all he's got in his empty little life. Here goes. So here's the piece. Ross Greer called out for an ill-judged comment that Russian war airstrikes are extremely funny. And there's a picture of him. He looks like exactly what he is. A charmless little turd. Look at him. Oh, look at me. I've got power. After all the years of being bullied at school, I've got a little bit of power. And so I think I can say and do things. Yeah, you can say and do them. People won't like it. People will comment, or worse. So the Greens MSP has been criticised for the wording of a tweet in which said he would find the timing of airstrikes known to cause the loss of life, that would be funny to him. The loss of a human life, he finds that funny. Charmless, isn't he? What a strange little man he really is. Ross Greer has weighed in on the latest Russian military developments with a comment stating that this would be an extremely funny moment for Ukraine to launch airstrikes. Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the powerful Wagner mercenary group, has called for a rebellion in Russia and launched what he calls a march of justice. The UK's Ministry of Defence says his troops are almost certainly aiming to get to Moscow. That's now been turned around. Putin's paid up, given him a lot of money, and he's gone away. He is, after all, a mercenary. He does everything for money. Wagner forces crossed the border from Ukraine, where they had been fighting on the Russian side. And while the UK government's emergency committee, Cobra, prepares to discuss the issue, Mr. Ross is called out for his crass comments. One person said, "This is an extremely ill-judged and pathetic comment. I suggest you delete it." He probably doesn't even realise how crass it is. He doesn't realise how offensive it is. Because, well, you've seen the picture of him. Has that man ever served a day in the forces? Does he understand at all what it is like? No, he hasn't. He's quite incapable. And to say things like this on Armed Forces Day is also a lack. It just shows a lack of any kind of intelligence, doesn't it? The Green Party MSP for West Scotland said the Russian military has overwhelming aerial superiority over Wagner. So if Ukraine was planning any more strikes or sabotage of the airfields, this would be an extremely funny moment to do it. Comments have been made. What is funny about airstrikes? What an oddball comment to make, said nationalist Stuart Clark. Others said it was wrong for an MSP to be making light of life and death situations. Campaigner Blair Bowman, the whiskey guy, isn't it, who stood in opposing Mr. Greer's Green Party bottle recycling scheme, said, "There is nothing funny about war, Ross Greer." While Tory MP Ros McCall echoed this, saying war is not funny. Tensions have been growing for the Russian President Vladimir Putin, accusing Mr. Prigozhin of armed mutiny as forces move through the Russian sides. Security measures have already been taken in Moscow, and reports from Sky News reveal Mr. Prigozhin alleges the Russian military killed some of his fighters. The Russian military are not a professional outfit. They are basically draftees. They're coming from all over the nation, being pulled in because of Putin's very, very tiny penis. And talking of tiny penises, Ross Greer's comments also come on Armed Forces Day, because he's an obnoxious piece of filth, really, isn't he? And look at him. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look supercilious, and my mummy says I'm special. Yeah, I bet your mummy doesn't know who your daddy is. Bet you don't know who your daddy is, because you're just a little bastard, aren't you? What a prick. Anyway, he annoys me. I don't even want to look at that horrible little face anymore. I'm coming up. This guy should be shunned. Formally shunned at Parliament. People should just get up and keep abusing him. And just keep abusing him. Do not stop. Bully him. Bully him again. Make him feel the pain. Because he's laughing at other people's pain, dismemberment, agonising slow death. He finds that funny. Well, he needs to feel pain himself. So I'm not talking physical here, but it'd be quite easy just to look into his soul, and if he has one, and just rip it apart, and just sit there and continually for days on end in Parliament, every time he gets up, make a comment, make a comment, make a comment, and see how he feels, and then see if, airstrikes are funny. Put him in the middle of one. Put him in the middle of an airstrike and say, "Is it funny now, Mr. Greer? Tell me you're laughing." What an absolute oaf. He really is. I do hope he's taken to task over it. Nothing I can do, but I'd love to see him taken apart. Anyway, I shall round off there. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see here on the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And I do apologise for my language, but he just wound me up. Ex-soldier. Prick. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, stay well, and screw you, Ross Greer. Screw you. Bye.